Some people come to us and say, well, you're creating something new. And we say, no, we're bringing back lost economies. We farm organically and conventionally both for several reasons, mainly for us to learn better how regenerative agriculture in general can go across the spectrum, not just on organic acres, but also on conventional. Soil health is so critical to all of us because it's where our food comes from. A food system that depends on a high degree of synthetic and imported nutrients is not sustainable. To me, as we've started this more intensive soil sampling, we're going back to trying to find undisturbed native prairie sites here. In other words, what was this valley like 200 years ago before we had a lot of human impact? And sample that and say, that's the base. That's where we think we would like to be. Now, over our activities, how much have we degraded from that? And what activities can we regenerate back towards that ideal? And in that process, we're going to improve the fertility for the crops that grow there, but we'll also increase the organic matter so we capture more carbon and store it in the soil where it's most stable. The mix of cover crops, good crop rotations, getting livestock back on the land as often and opportunistic as possible will build that resilient soil that will just have more nutrient-dense foods and be sustainable and not have deteriorating productivity. And that's going back to what Mother Nature did long before all of us smart humans thought we knew a better way, is a goal. Maybe it's pretty late in my life to achieve that, but I think we will have time to really learn some good indicators on the kinds of soils we're engaged with. I grew up in agriculture in a time that was all about efficiency and expansion and so on, but I guess it takes a few gray hairs and you finally recognize, there was an awful lot more knowledge and wisdom present that we neglect today. We got away from that, and now we're bringing those values back. Not that we have to lower our living standard. If anything, it's going to be a much more beneficial living standard nutritionally and economically for our communities if we're able to, look back and reinstitute some of the very common sense practices that have eluded us in the meantime.